Hi, my name is Julaine Soleil, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own videos for your own classes using Camtasia screen recording software. I'm going to walk you step by step to try to minimize some anxieties you might have about doing this whole process yourself. First, I'm going to talk about some pros and cons of creating your own videos. Some pros are you can create content exactly how you want your students to get the content. It creates continuity for the student from the beginning of the unit all the way through the test, through the final exam, because you're creating all of the content. Students also connect better when their own professor is giving them their lecture and video rather than the textbook videos. For some reason, students just connect better when it's their own professor, especially if you're sending them shorter videos to answer their own questions, and so they know that the video that they're seeing for content is the same as the one that's answering their questions, that connects them a little bit more to you. In fact, I've had people recognize my voice in the hallway from my online classes, and they'd come up and give me a hug, and I don't know who these students are at all, but they've connected with me enough to feel comfortable enough to come give me a hug and thank me for my videos. And when I'm the teacher and I don't really even know them at all because they're an online student and I've never really met them, but they feel like they know me. Next, adding supplemental videos to textbook videos you might already be using. So let's say you already are using the textbook videos, but if you want to add something supplemental, now you can have the opportunity to do that with Camtasia software. You can also create videos tailored to your online or your face-to-face class or your hybrid or your flip class. And if you're clever about it, you can create one content video that you might be able to use for all of those different formats. So we're going to be talking about that. And I also just find it personally rewarding to create my own videos. The con that I see with creating your own video is it's time consuming, and I can't underestimate how time consuming this is. But if you're looking on the long run that you might be doing online classes for a long time, or you want to create some flip classes, or you just see that with the times the way they are, that we might want to just have more videos and different formats available, then this might be worth your time putting in to create your own videos. I have some student comments here about my videos. Just yesterday, I had a student post this first quote. I wasn't even fishing for any comments, but this just popped up, so I decided to add it. If I need to watch a video 5 times before I understand the problem, then working at my own pace helps. I have enjoyed the structure of this class in the video. I also enjoyed how the material was explained in each video. I also enjoy the fact that all of these videos are your own, and you're not using videos that someone else posted or using videos from a specific book. I especially appreciated that you took time out of your schedule to make a video reply to questions we have. Now, when I asked her if I could use this in my presentation, she said, yes, absolutely. And then she mentioned how my tests were written the same way my videos were written. All of the questions throughout the whole semester were the same, and she appreciated the continuity. She added that as well. And here's another one from an anonymous review, I think in a previous semester. Said, yeah, the videos really helped me too. They're lengthy, but they're a whole lot more helpful than the book. I'm very split auditory visual learner, so being able to see and hear, it helps. I just thought that was interesting that we're going to be reaching multiple different types of learners here. Now we're going to be talking about Camtasia today, but I just wanted you to see what are the different softwares that we have and why you would use them and when. If you have a live class meeting, I would use WebEx Meetings or WebEx Teams. That would be a synchronous class. That would be single use. You could record it, but you don't necessarily need to record it. But usually it would just happening once. If you're answering a student question, if you're going to be doing that synchronous, you would like call them through WebEx Teams or have one meeting with them through WebEx Meet. If you're going to answer a student question asynchronously, again, that's single use. I'd use Loom, which is not Lone Star supported, but it's free, or a Show Me app from an iPad app or Educreations. Again, not Lone Star supported, but they're free, so that's kind of nice. What we're really focusing on today is creating lesson content, which is asynchronous. These are going to be high quality videos that you reuse for several classes over and over again, maybe for several semesters. And the software that we're going to be using is Camtasia. You could also use TechSmith Relay, and I'm going to show you how you could use both of them at the same time. But that is what we're focusing on in this video. So the differences between TechSmith Relay and Camtasia, they're both produced by TechSmith. They both can record the screen or a webcam. I find TextSmith Relay to be a little bit lower quality, whereas Camtasia has more options for the recorder, and I feel like the recorder's higher quality. Where the videos are stored is very different. So in TextSmith Relay, they're stored with TextSmith Relay in a D2L capacity, whereas if you create it in Camtasia, their videos are actually stored on your computer. Then you'd host them to either YouTube, or you can actually host to TextSmith Relay, but because you own the file, if you ever change LMSs, like if we ever move away from D2L, not that I'm saying that we are, but if we ever do, you have your files if you use Camtasia, whereas if you use TextSmith Relay, you're going to have to migrate them over to whatever we're using in the future. Both can use automated subtitles, and I'll show you how to do that. And TextSmith Relay has very limited editing capabilities. You can just cut, and that's about it. So you can, if you make a mistake, you can cut that out. But other than that, you can't do very much. Whereas Camtasia has extensive editing capabilities, and is also really cool stuff. TextSmith Relay gives you some really cool analytics for your D2L users. YouTube, if you're going to host with YouTube, can provide some analytics as well, but they're more general to whoever's watching your videos, not specific to your D2L users, which may be one reason why you might want to create them in Camtasia but then host them in TextSmith Relay. So the reason I like to use Camtasia is because I find their recorder to be better, their editing to be much better, and I like to store my videos on my own computer so that I own them. Next thing is you need to prepare. You have to prepare all your content before recording. Decide what you want your students to learn. Decide how you're going to present that. Are you going to make a PowerPoint? You make some guided notes, and I'll give you an example of what guided notes are in a minute. Are you just going to set up a webcam and a chalkboard in your garage? And then I would suggest creating a script so you know what you're going to say. This can take a lot of time, so consider using what you've already been using. Maybe you already have PowerPoints, maybe you already have notes that you plan on using. Use those so that you can edit them, maybe modify them so that they can fit in a video setting. And then decide if you're going to use these for multiple classes and formats. For example, if you're going to use these same videos for your online students with your face-to-face students, maybe in a flipped classroom setting where the students watch the videos at home, and then when they come to class they do homework in groups, or they do projects, or they do group activities. You're doubling the time you have with the students in a flipped classroom because they do the lecture at home and then they do the activities in class, which is a really cool idea. And if you are clever about it, you can create content videos that would be useful for both your online and face-to-face students. Here's an example of a guided notes. So this is my guided notes for truth tables, okay? So I have typed out everything I'm going to talk about. It's kind of like my skeleton script. And then when I make the video, I'm going to start this video here and show you. When I am creating the video, I am actually talking through and teaching the lesson that I would have taught in class. And I'm filling in, and they have this paper at home and they're also filling in. And so they don't have to write everything that I say in the video because they have half of it already written down for them, and they're just kind of filling in and creating the notes on their guided notes. So although I use 3.3 and 3.4 as a book section that's associated with our current book, when I make my video, I'm actually removed that part so that in case we ever change textbooks, that we don't have to actually create new videos, because that would be frustrating. Next, some best practices for your content. You might want to associate a grade with your video, because if you make your videos optional without a grade, they're very unlikely to be watched, unfortunately. I've seen that before. So I like to attach a grade to the videos, like a quiz or a discussion board prompt, and I can pop back to the last video. So right here is one of my quizzes, and I actually have it embedded into the video. This is the only place that they actually see the quiz, so they actually have to watch the video in order to find out what the quiz questions are. It's a little sneaky of me, and I can show you how to do that. Embed versus links. If you embed your videos, then the students don't have any other things to click on. When the embedding in the video means you just have the screen, and inside the screen all you can see is your video and the other D2L items around the video, and you don't actually get taken to an external link like YouTube, which can be very distracting. So consider embedding your video instead of putting links to your video. Create shorter videos for easier download speeds. So if I'm trying to create a content for a 60-minute class, I might break that up into 3 or 4 sections, and so that they can download it easier, and this also helps for student attention. And then consider not using the section numbers tied to a specific book so you can reuse it in another semester. So the steps to creating videos in Camtasia are as follows. Number 1, download Camtasia software onto your computer. Number 2, record the content video, assuming that you've already have it all prepped. We've already talked about preparing your content. Number 3, edit and save your video. 4, decide where you're hosting your video and host it. And then 5, embed that video into the D2L. So we are going to go through each one of these in our own little video so that you can go back and review if you need.